Welcome to AV in the Wild, the podcast that dives deep into the heart of the pro AV industry, out in the field, on the move, and in the moment.
Hey everybody, welcome to AV in the Wild. It's a special episode. We're out on location, and what a location. We are here in Las Vegas to bring to you an amazing story about two companies coming together, a manufacturer and a reseller, to bring some amazing solutions. And we want to bring that to life and bring the conversation to all of you around this. I'm going to introduce my two guests. On the end we have
Chris Curtis. I'm the founder of GoVision.
And
Mike Hopkins, Senior Vice President of digiLED LLC.
So again, we're going to be talking about all things large displays. Now, I'm no expert in this space, but clearly by the end of this, I've got two amazing gentlemen that are going to help me and help you understand the opportunities, the value that both GoVision and digiLED can provide in the market. For anyone who doesn't know GoVision, do you want to just give us a quick synopsis of what you're about, when you started, where you are, and what you do?
Sure. So GoVision, one of our taglines right off the bat is experience unrivaled, and we mean it. Part of that is we've been in this business as long as anybody in the United States, coming up on our 25th year. We started really as a legacy as a rental company. We do a lot still in the rental market, a lot in sports, do most of the Pro Golf Tour over here, Ryder Cup, PGA Championships. We do the NCAA stuff, we do ESPN, any remote things that ESPN does in the US, festivals, corporate meetings. Sure. And then about 10 years ago, we went towards the install world too. And we're going to talk about a project later, but we're going to talk about a project later, because when we started in the install, we started with a really good one. So we've been after that about 10 years, have about 350 installations around the country. Wow. And then over the top of all that, we have a full service and repair group, national service team and an in-house repair group. Very
cool. And digiLED, what an amazing facility. Thank you for hosting us.
Absolutely, thanks for coming.
But again, for those, the one person sleeping in a darkened room who hasn't heard of digiLED and don't know what you're all about, tell us.
Well, you're hearing a lot of synergies between GoVision and digiLED. We're also approaching our 25th year, so it's an exciting time with the company. We provide contract manufacturing, so we design and engineer all of our LED, and then we have a team in China that oversees all of the production. And then we share it with our good friends at GoVision to install it and complete the projects.
Fantastic. Now, how did you two get together? I mean, where did you meet? Where did the relationship start? I mean,
there's all kinds of threaded parts here, but Graham Burgess, who's the founder of digiLED, and I actually go back to the 90s. Wow. We both started when we were about 5. And
I guess it was sort of CRT back then. I mean, LED.
Well,
really
CRT,
exist. Yeah.
Correct. So, we had Jumbotrons here in the States. He worked for Jumbotron. Randy Green, who's also part of their team, was the technician on my first Jumbotron. So we kind of thread way back, and then along with it, Mike and Malik and some of these folks we've actually worked with for about 10 years.
And digiLED, again, where did you guys come from? Again, talking about Jumbotron, is that your kind of heritage? Is that
the heritage of the company is, the founders and originals of the company really started with Sony, transitioned to a lot of the different major manufacturers of LED before forming digiLED 25 years ago. And
again, the LED market is pretty chaotic at the moment with all the stuff going on. What really kind of splits digiLED apart from all the other vendors out there? Again, some amazing technology we see around the space here. Again, hopefully we'll roll in some B-roll to show some of the products. But
sure, I think what makes us different really is we design everything bespoke for our clients. So if you just want something off the shelf, off the wall, we're probably not your partner, right? We're looking for every single project that we do for GoVision or for anyone else is specifically built for that project. And whether that's a huge screen, a small screen, a custom screen, whatever, it's designed and built specifically for that project and that project alone.
Right, so you do specifically, for that, a customer comes to you with a scope and requirements, and you'll put that together for them.
That is correct.
Wow, that's impressive. And again, there's some cool stuff that you've got, some new technology you're launching, I believe, at Infocom this week as well, with some cool audio stuff. I don't know if we can talk about that.
Sure, yeah.
I didn't prep you on that.
No, that's fine. Is that another tease, or?
Well, why not? Why not? It's your product.
We have sound through LED displays now, which we actually launched at ISE this year in Barcelona, and we're introducing it, now here at Infocom.
Fantastic. And you talked about a lot of sporting events. You talked about Ryder Cup, and festivals. Is that where most of this stuff is going? Large sporting events, large festivals. Is that the
there's all kinds of elements to it. Watch parties. Of course, in the U.S., we're going to have America 250 this year. We can still get along with our British counterparts on that, but we're that type stuff, corporate meetings, and all of that's just gotten bigger. As you see the proliferation of the LED in the world, outside, you're seeing that every meeting and festival and thing wants to be bigger and better, and they have to go there.
And we're going to touch on it a little bit later on, but again, from GoVision's point of view, you've got kind of two sides to the business. It's the rentals, customer wants to just have it for a pop-up event, like a festival, like a sporting event, but then also installed is then a big part of that as well. So actually going and, again, we're in Las Vegas, the home of large display LED, you walk down the strip, it's everywhere. So again, you guys are doing both sides of that.
Yes, and I think we're really the only company that are truly in both of those markets. There's rental companies that dabble in fixed, and fixed companies that rental it and dabble in the rentals part, but we're truly in both of those businesses.
Chris is being modest there, by the way, because I don't think he's not really hitting on that key differentiator, right? So as you guys listen, LED takes anywhere between 50 and 90 days, right, to be manufactured and get to the US. And sometimes projects have to be delivered quicker, right? A live event's a live event, it's gonna start on that day, right? Opening day is that day. So they're able to start a live event with their rental equipment and then flip it to a permanent install midway through the season or something. So, and really no one else is doing that like they are.
Right. Well, and I think the live event mindset serves us well. So many people in it are construction companies, and they don't like delays, but they don't understand the mission critical part of a deadline, which we do, because to Mike's part, the NASCAR race doesn't go, hey, we're not going to start because GoVision can't get their stuff together.
Hang on a minute, wait a minute, drivers.
So I think that mindset serves us well, and this whole world has accelerated. The stuff just does not get, the rental contracts don't get done as early as they used to. The install contracts don't get done as early as they used to. So people are always sort of comes to the end, and then they're like, okay, can you do it in 90 days or 45 days or whatever it is.
It would be great for, again, to go through some of those kind of questions and the scopes for people. I really want to kind of, first of all, talk about some of the projects, get people interested and excited on some of the stuff you've done, because there's some really standout projects that you guys have done. Now, for me as a Brit, I don't really get NASCAR. You drive around in circles, I think. Isn't that how it works? It's like, but NASCAR was a really big one for you guys. Talk us through, again, what you did with the Bristol Speedway, because it's a really standout project that you guys have put together.
Well, we've had a long-term relationship with Speedway Motorsports that owns Bristol. We used to be their rental provider. They own 11 tracks here in the States. And one of our things we started to kind of learn is, and that's what got us into the install, is we were sort of an unpaid consultant to them putting screens in, and then they'd put screens in and they didn't need the rental stuff anymore. So I was putting myself out of business for nothing. But so we had this relationship with them. We had worked with digiLED a lot on our rental product. We had an opportunity, Bristol Motor Speedway, which if you've seen it, it's actually a racetrack, but it's in a stadium. It's a completely enclosed stadium. And they had forever a pylon in the middle with screens on the sides of it, which we would do on just race weekend, because these places are used maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 weekends a year. So we would put that in and take it out. And they wanted to do this football game in there. So that pylon had to come out. They wanted to do something unique. And as they were looking at that, I kind of flippantly said, what if we hang it in the middle? And it's an open air stadium. And everybody laughed and we went on about our way. Well, they never found something that really stuck, and they came back and said, could you do this?
Yeah. You remember you said you could hang it in the middle?
Yes. And they said, it was interesting. They went to several of the really big brand players in the space, and they all said it couldn't be done originally. They said, can it be done? I'm like, we'll figure it out. And that was perfect example of what got us so close to digiLED, because that was a really unique project. It's the largest freestanding center hub video board in the world. There's bigger ones in stadiums and stuff, but not that are anchored to nothing. It looks like it's floating in the air, and it's tied off 4 200-foot towers outside and 1,200-foot runs of cable that's like what the Golden Gate Bridge is made out of, and pretty unique pretty unique project and has
And when you
been
get
a big one.
when you get a spec like that, I mean, where do you start? We've got to hang some screens up on it and wires. In
Yeah,
this minute stadium.
so that one, again, that's the type of project, and it's why we work so well together, realistically, because there was no spec, there was no product that would be able to do that.
Or no
right?
precedence that you could
There's a
copy
whole
off
bunch
of.
of different types of products that some could do this, some could do that, some could do this. So both digiLED and GoVision and our engineers over in China developed a brand new product
Right.
specifically for that application, which is still in use today.
Yes, so it's 11 years old. One of our things as we did that was we wanted a product that had durability because the stuff had gotten flimsier, really. And so we wanted durability, but we wanted to keep the weight down. But mostly we needed a quality piece because it's 180 feet in the air. So it's not like somebody can run out during the race and fix something. We actually, guys go up in it and stay up there for the race time.
Oh right, there's
And,
people actually
yeah.
situated in
Yeah,
the. Wow.
inside it's a 15,000 square foot, 5-story house essentially. And
Suspended from the top of the stadium.
It's a really neat view if you ever want to see something. But that product, and not only did we end up putting that product in there, we bought a very large quantity for our rental inventory, which, these guys have heard, it's the best product we've ever had. That particular, we still use it in our rental inventory. Looks great, and it's held together really well.
Is there a different, again, stupid question time from me, is there a difference between like a rental version versus an installation? Is there something specific you have to think about how this is going to be used? It's going to be packed up back and forth?
Correct.
Is it
Yes, there's multiple different things you have to think about when you're talking about rental compared to fixed. A large part of it is actually the back end engineering of the cabinet itself, right? And how a fixed installation, often a cabinet is attaching to a metal structure and things like that, whereas a lot of times a rental installation is kind of in this case floating in the middle of the air.
Yeah. Well, and you talk about the LED business is chaotic now, and it is. And there's 2,000 manufacturers. I don't know, China, 10 that you want to do business with at the most, maybe.
I thought you'd say one.
Well, there
but,
is
I'll, but I'll
we
accept
can edit that bit out. We'll cut it in.
But yeah, we can edit that out. But the thing is, the rental to me is a harder product because it needs the quality.
Right.
It needs the soldering done right because you're shaking it, you're moving it around, you're beating it around. Where if you have something that sits on the wall, it's not taking the beating that's going in and out of cases or carts and flying and wind and rain and everything that goes with it. So the quality in the rental is more important.
Right.
And that's where a lot of these people come and get exposed because it all looks great the first day, and then you try to unpack it for the second show, and it doesn't look too good. It goes downhill fast from there.
Well, yeah, and again, you got these events, as you say, they can't stop, they can't wait, so it's got to work first time every time you take it out of the box. They can't go, hang on, we're missing something. Hold the race, hold the event. We're going to come back later.
Similar. Are you all right there?
I'm sliding again.
Similar to Chris
Coming
putting
in.
himself out of business. Sounds like we're putting ourselves out of business. You're still using the same kit. You don't want to buy more?
Yep. Well, we bought quite a bit more since then, I do believe.
Now, you talked about NASCAR. There's two others we want to kind of drill on. There's the Live Nation. Talk to us about who wants to talk about Live Nation.
Chris should start it.
Okay, so about that same time frame, 2014, 15, 16, we had a Live Nation relationship from their festival side.
Okay, so this is more of a festival.
Well, that's where it started, but we ended up doing the first install in one of their sheds. They have 152 venues in America, of which about 60 of those are the big outdoor amphitheaters. And so we started right in there, starting to install in their amphitheaters. And we're now in our 8th year of a master service agreement with them. So anything they put into their venues, we do. And again, it's kind of funny. We sold them too good a product. We try to we do a national service thing with them, but they won't sign a contract because we don't have to go service it that often. And they're like, "You've only been here twice in 5 years. Why am I going to pay for this?" But so we have sold them too good a product, and I think there's a case there too. We had an issue with equipment, and this kind of goes to why you want to deal with the digiLED. We had some equipment that came that wasn't right. And it took a long time to figure out what was wrong, but we did it together and put full force of both our companies in place to get that fixed. And it was very interesting. It was a very simple issue when it was all said and done, but I think that's because you're dealing with technology, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with weather, you're going to have issues. So it's how you handle the issues is who's strong in this thing.
And I guess you're representing someone else's brand on these displays. You know, again, we've
Yep.
got this beautiful display with all of our brands behind it. If there's any problem, then it's a problem displaying their brand and displaying what they're trying to get across. It's
Yep.
got to look good,
Yes.
and it's got to work well, because again, it's not your sort of defacing what they're doing, I guess.
Correct.
No, the other one we wanted to talk about is the PPL Center. This is a slightly more recent one, I believe. Talk about the PPL Center. Do you want to tell that one?
Yeah, I mean, what was exciting about that project is that was from, again, no spec, but also no design.
Is that quite common? They're just like, come along. We want
Those are the best projects. Right. All right. So there was no spec and there was no design, and it's actually a former partner and client of GoVision's team came back to them and said, we need something new, do something different. So we worked again with GoVision directly. We came up with different designs. It's a center hung display, has some ribbon, et cetera, throughout the building. Working with these guys directly, came up with what the design looked like. We created a 3D model for it, went and presented it together jointly to the client, who absolutely loved it. They flew into Dallas to, flew into Dallas and went to their place in Argyle and had all day meetings with them, and they essentially agreed to do the deal right then and there. I don't know, 6 months later, the thing was up and operational, basically.
It's a gorgeous building, Allentown, Pennsylvania. We have a very similar project going right now in Mobile, Alabama.
Okay.
Another arena with center hung and ribbon boards, and kind of the same process. Like we had an introduction to them, they came, we pretty much did the deal while they were there. If we get a hold of you, we don't let go.
Well, I was going to say, let's talk through that kind of process, because again, someone comes to you with a scope. How do you two work together? How does GoVision and digiLED work together? What, again, anyone who's watching this may be interested in, thinking about a project, thinking about scope. What's the best way to engage? You said before, blank sheet of paper and you designed it, or what if they've got ideas? Again, talk us through how it works with the pair of you with regards to kind of how the teams work together.
Yeah, so regardless if there's a spec already, or there's not a spec, or there's a design and a spec, or vice versa, whatever, the key is to get engaged with your partners early on in the process as possible. Right? There's a whole bunch of pitfalls that can come across throughout this that nobody's really thinking of. Anything from, Chris brought up weight when he was talking about the Bristol Motor Speedway, right? You have weight, you have power. There's a million things that go into the back end of the technology that most people don't think about. They just come up with, this is going to look cool in my building, and I want to do it.
TV.
Correct, right, and that's not really the right way to do it. The right way to do it is say, I think this is what I want, and then engage a company like GoVision, right, who can sit there and say, all right, well, it's going to take about this amount of work to do this, it's going to take this long, this is et cetera. GoVision then works with digiLED, and we all work together with the client to say, this is the right kind of product that you can do there, this is what it would cost, right, because there's the cost ranges on LED is quite large, right, and as Chris mentioned before, we specifically only want to sell high quality product, but there's different levels of that. There's different brightnesses you can sell. There's a whole bunch of different features you can get that really impact that final cost. And that's where, if you're involved early in the process, you can deliver something at the end that makes the most sense for them. That would be my advice to anyone. Yeah. Engage early.
Yeah, and from a relationship standpoint, rectangle on a wall, we have our pricing. We know kind of what that is, but we come to them with, this arena wants to do this, or they're looking for something different. What do you got? And there are all the trade-offs. Here's what we're willing to trade for this or that, and if there's pricing issues and what all those things are, and we try to educate the client as well as we kind of know a lot about this stuff.
and talk us through like scale and service, because that's the other thing. Again, we talked about, and again around here, there's small displays, massive large ones, portrait, landscape, all the rest of it. Talk us through some of the scale and service that the two companies can offer. I mean, where is the limit? Is there a limit, or really is there, an infinite kind of option with regards to putting this stuff out there?
I'll take you.
From a hardware perspective, what digiLED does, and obviously in partnership with GoVision because they're working with us, we provide more spares than what is required and or what the company requests. This ensures that that display will last 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, apparently 11 years in Bristol, et cetera. Okay, so that's kind of what, that's from a hardware perspective. From an on-site service perspective, that's where Chris's team comes in and manages the on-site side of it, and also talk about your service in Argyle. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So we have two pieces of that, is field service. We have a national service group that we can also augment with our network of independent contractors that work for us in the rental business too, so it helps. So we have a national footprint in that. We have several contracts that are enterprise level contracts that we take care of that, along with digiLED stuff in the field. And then we also have a service group in Argyle where we actually are doing board level repair. It was born out of necessity from the rental business, because our stuff would come in on a Monday or Tuesday, and if it hit a baseball and knocked out some pixels, it had to go back out on Thursday. So we had
How often does that happen?
We had to, a lot. And maybe not a baseball, but feet and all kinds of things. We've had rock stars take guitars to them. All that stuff happens. But so it had to go back out. So we started board level repair, and that business has grown immensely. We do a lot of work on, we talk about the disparity in the business. There's what I call orphan screens, because there's so many manufacturers that have came and gone in this business, and these people have bought this thing and they don't have any idea what to do or where to service it, and they somehow find their way to us, and we give people a relief moment that hey, there's a chance here and we can keep this going for you. And then
so it's sort of life cycle management of trying to help them through that.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a big part of our business now.
Right. And talk us through again the custom engineering side. You talked about board level engineering and board level support. Again, talk us through what you're doing with regards to that custom engineering work.
Well, again, it's design. We have a racetrack that had a new structure, so we help them design the structure. It's for our rental units to go up into. So we do a lot of that kind of stuff, like you want to do this, or Ryder Cup last year, they wanted a really dramatic entryway, and so we do a lot of that kind of stuff in our rental business, and that has bled over to the install side a lot, because you're just seeing again this proliferation. And so a stadium, arena, lifestyle, mixed use center, they want something different, right? They don't want the rectangle on the wall, so what can you do? And this is where a digiLED completely changes the game, because they have the knowledge to go bespoke manufacture things that can do that. And so, it starts at a design phase, and it may be an idea, or it may be they have actually already had a designer and he hasn't thought through functionality at all. He's just gone, I want to do this, right? And then Mike's kind of that way too. He likes to just do stuff.
Yeah, I like to do stuff and give it to the engineers and tell them they need to figure it out.
Yeah.
So it goes well, those conversations.
And how much do you get involved in the content? Again, we've got some amazing content playing around us here. We've actually got the World Cup playing in the background. We're watching the scores of the match over there. But how much is the content? We've talked about black rectangles on the wall, but how much is the content? How much do you get involved in that side of things?
So we do have creation if people want it. Most of them have their own type thing. But coming from a sporting background, really recently, we've taken on a whole new service offering, which is a remote monitoring of screens and content management for things like in Times Square and these Vegas strip things. It's really interesting. Those advertising screens, they got to be up and running. And so we have back-end things that we're watching the back end that alert us if something's wrong. And then we have confidence cameras. And some of those are a deal that we have to look at it once a day. Some of them we have to look at it every half hour.
Oh wow! Okay.
And some of those we manage their content too. So if they have an advertiser or they want to change content, it comes through us. Okay. Now you can do all that remotely, and that's only going to grow with the commercial market, if you would.
Yeah. Now, lastly, anybody who's looking to maybe deploy something, you've got a wealth of experience. You talked about it 25 years. What's your top 3 things to give anyone watching this that they should ask themselves or come to you, with regards to putting this? What are 3 things that really will help them define their project is successful?
We got to make Mike go first, because otherwise he's going to come over the top of me and make me look really dumb.
Go on.
I might do that anyway. I think probably the 3 main priorities are: what is your objective for the screen? What is the intent you want your end user to come away from, right? So whoever's viewing that screen, whether it's a consumer, whether it's a corporate environment, whatever it is, right? So the objective of the screen, what is the intent you want them to come away from? What do they feel when they come away from that, right? And then last thing would be have a budget in mind.
Okay.
Right? Because everyone says, oh, I want to do this. And it's like, yeah, but then you can't, and now you're changing everything. So have a budget in mind, and then we'll tell you right off the bat what's possible and not possible.
All right.
I think that's pretty good. And understanding, at least a base function understanding of the differences of the levels of this business, and what you want out of that. Is it a longevity thing? Is it is it going to be? I think the other one's really, they can't define their environment, but you need to know the environment. From our end, you need to know what the environment is coming in. And again, I think the earlier you can be in process, it would shock you, buildings that are built that don't have enough power to do things they want to do and stuff. It's amazing.
It's an afterthought. They say, oh goodness, we're going to put this in, we've got enough power. Power is a great thing. It's certainly more for us in Europe around sustainability and power consumption. Are we doing anything in the world of LED to try and help with regards to, power and consumption and things like that?
We do. We have a feature called Zeus, which is zero energy usage system.
Okay.
So in the LED world, previously what you would do is you would turn these screens all to black.
Right.
You don't turn them off. So just like any electronic, right? LED is no different. The more times you turn it on and off, the more short circuits you're going to have, the more times you're going to have failure, et cetera, et cetera. So you leave it on, you just turn it to black. When it's on black, it's still drawing power, okay? Our system is designed so that you can turn it completely off, and when you turn it back on, there's random algorithms and all fun technical things that prevent those shortages, that splurge of power that would short out receiver cards, power supplies, LED lights, et cetera.
Okay.
Yes, Zeus definitely leads to longevity. We've not had as much luck in the States convincing the people they do it because of
in Europe, I'm sure.
Well, because of the cost of power. So we can't show them completely the cost savings, but we still show them pretty significant cost savings.
And again, you were talking about an 11-year deployment. So from a value point of view, these products are going out there for think about cell phones these days, 2-3 years or whatever, and it's just disposable technology. The fact that these products are going out there and they're going to be in place for 11 plus years, I mean that's pretty good with regards to a return on investment. And
it's getting more and more important when it comes to just efficiency and certain environmental ratings that large government projects need to hit and things like that, right? So whether the end user actually utilizes the feature, at the end of the day is up to them. But if it's there, it helps them get the funding they need.
You kind of back to people need to be planning, and back to the disparity in manufacturers. We're replacing a screen right now that's in a venue that was the frequencies were shutting down the emergency responders as they drove by the venue. So, people don't understand that there's a whole bunch more.
RF noise and whatever from the technology. Okay, wow.
Correct. But they got a bargain on that screen the first time. Not from us.
Fantastic. Now, where can people find out more about GoVision? You said about trying to come to you early. What's the best way to kind of reach out to you and engage with you? Clearly, there's going to be a website and socials and stuff. But where anyone watching this interested in what they're hearing and listening to, they want to have more information. How do they get engaged with you?
Well, we'd love to talk to anybody. Call us.
Free consultation. You said.
There you go. Yeah. No, absolutely. We do a lot of that. Our website is govisionxp.com. And then we have a similar setup to the Pixel Depot. We have a GoVision experience in Argyle, Texas, which is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Okay. And Texas is quite a small place from what I've heard.
It is. We were in the middle of a cow field, now we're in the middle of houses.
Fantastic. And then you can come down and see the technology there.
You can come see the technology. We can show you the service and repair side and the content management and the remote monitoring. And really get a feel for and touch. And we'll set things up. We have a significant enough space. We'll set things up to mock things up. And that's another thing that the rental part allows us to do.
It's almost like a try before you buy. Almost.
Correct.
You can rent before you buy and try stuff out. So that's a really powerful thing to do. Now, again, we will turn the cameras around and get some B-roll of this place, but with all of this stuff, is seeing is believing. Again, the fact you can see the different pixel pitches and you can get up close and personal to the technology, but how do people come here? Where are we? How do people come to this facility, and how can we, again, bring this out to the world?
100%. So we're in Las Vegas, not even 4 minutes from the airport, and that's really the best. Close. That's really the easiest way to come, whether you're on your way into Vegas, stop by, you're leaving Vegas, stop by, or if you just want to pop in from California for a day, we'd love to see you, love to have you. digiLED.com is where you can find us, and looking forward to seeing you here.
And you got a place in Europe as well, I think, haven't you?
We do. We are a global company. We have these slightly different setup, but same type of wall screens, etc. Just outside of London.
Yep, fantastic, brilliant.
Well, and Graham's not here, but he said just call him, he'll send a jet for you.
Oh, fantastic. We'll book that up. Guys, thank you for hosting us again. Fascinating conversation. Again, if you're out at NASCAR, so Bristol Speedway, you can see it there.
Texas Motor Speedway, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Go to Speedway. Go and watch cars driving around in circles.
Turn on ESPN every Saturday and watch game day.
You do that kind of that's one of ours.
Yes.
When you're watching it. So again, this stuff, it's out there. Again, fascinating conversation. Really interesting on the fact that, again, the rental side versus the fixed installation side. The fact that you can, deploy this, or again, if it's a longer installation time, we can put the rental solutions out there first, then flip them to that. The relationship clearly goes on for a long time, and again, the experience between these two companies, GoVision and digiLED, gives you that safety, security, and the fact that your project will be maintained for 11, 12, 13, however many years then in the future. So again, reach out to GoVision, reach out to digiLED if you want any more information. We just scratched the surface, and I'd highly urge you, if you can get down to this site again, the screens all around us are absolutely phenomenal, and looking at the different brightnesses, pitches, just seeing how they're removing the modules, putting them back in, really, really fascinating. I've learnt a lot. Thank you for tuning in on this episode. We do this all the time. We are here and we've got a great social following, so do follow us on all great social platforms, as well as wherever you get your podcasts from. Thank you for tuning in to AV in the Wild, and we will catch you on the next one.
That's a wrap on this episode of AV in the Wild. Big thanks to our guests and to you, our listeners, for joining us on this journey through the AV landscape. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, share, leave a review. It helps us keep the conversation going. Catch us next time as we hit the road again with more voices, more stories, and more of what makes AV wild. Until then, stay curious, stay connected, and stay wild.